Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's your guy Coldfire, and today I am going to be reacting to my favorite singer of all time, Patsy Cline. And this one is It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels. Now, there, the female singer that covered this song and made it number one was actually Kitty Wells, and it was a massive hit. But at the time, you have to realize Kitty Wells was the only mainstream female country star. For 10 straight years, there was no other women country singers. So everything Kitty Wells did, of course, went into the top 5 or top 10. And now there was another woman that I put on here on the channel. Her name was Patsy Montana. She wasn't really a bona fide country singer. She done mostly movies and sang in them, which is a little bit different. But it was Patsy Montana and I Want to Be a Cowboy Sweetheart. But she sold over 1 million copies of that record, and that was back in 1939. Now, when Kitty Wells recorded It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels, I think it was like 1950. Hey Alexa, when did Kitty Wells record It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels?
Kitty Wells recorded It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels on May 3, 1952. Would you like to know more about Kitty Wells' career in country music?
No, thank you.
Sounds good. Have a great day.
1952. So, I remember, because I know so much about Patsy Cline, she didn't actually start recording music until 1955. And I think that she was only 16 or 17 years old when she started, with the Coral record label, which put her in a tight position because they had her doing a lot of songs, but they didn't give her the right type of songs to record. They didn't see the talent in Patsy the way that she would later be seen whenever she got out of that deal and went to Decca Records. Patsy Cline always liked doing the fast songs. She liked to sound country. But Patsy Cline didn't have that twangy country voice like Loretta Lynn or Tammy Wynette or Dolly or any of the other ones. She had that bluesy voice that fit the pop scene. So the only hit that she got from Coral Records when she was up under them from 1955 to I think it was 1960. Yes, it was about 5 years, a record contract. She earned 0.03% royalties, which was a crappy amount of money to earn. But this version that I'm going to be playing for you right here is a very rare version of her when she did an audition for the Grand Ole Opry at 15 years of age. It was 14, sorry. Hold on. People don't know when to stop texting. They went my training of thought. She was 14. That was the same day that Elvis Presley also auditioned to be on the Grand Ole Opry. And the guy that was in charge of putting people on the Opry told Patsy Cline to keep her day job, and they told Elvis Presley to keep his trucking job. That neither one of them would be successful singers. They didn't have what it took to be country stars. Big mistake, huh? But anyways, I have heard this song before. There aren't too many footages of Patsy Cline because, she wasn't around that long because she was killed in a plane crash at the young age of 30. Just when her career was taking off and she was making massive crossover appeal into pop. This rock here, I do want to point out, is at the crash site where I visited in Camden, Tennessee, when I went to the Patsy Cline Museum, and I went to the crash site, and it was a very steep incline, but but she and two other country singers, Cowboy Copas and Hawkshaw Hawkins, and Patsy Cline's banjo Randy Hughes, all crashed in their small plane because they went into turbulent weather, and they were only 90 miles away from home when they left on the thing. So even before they got into the sky, the weather took over, and that was the end of Patsy Cline's career. But she is probably the most one of the most famous country singers to ever grace us, and that's not from my opinion. That's from pretty much just about every country singer you can possibly think of, especially the females. They all give credit to Patsy Cline for opening the doors for them. But let's get into it, because I want you to hear how she did this song, and then whenever she was rejected, she came back later on, a couple of years later, and of course the Opry wanted her. But her idol was, of course, Kitty Wells. So
right now we're going to call Patsy Cline back to the microphone to do one that was a real big hit not too long ago. Patsy Cline doing a tune called It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angel.
As I sit here tonight, the jukebox playing that tune about the wire side of life. As I listen to the words you are saying, it brings memories when I was a trusting wife. It wasn't God who made honky-tonk angels, as you said in the words of your song. Too many times married men think they're still single, that have caused many a good girl to go wrong.
But do you see how at such a young age she had that adult voice? It was kind of like, I would describe her a diamond in the rough. She was a gem that just needed to be picked up and polished off, and it had been done correctly. Now, when she was rejected after doing this song, that's when she went back to her town of Winchester, Virginia, and She eventually signed with, Bill Peer and the Melody Boys and started recording songs for them. And none of them went anywhere. And a lot of it had to do with the guy that basically was the record producer was kind of in love with Patsy Cline. So it was his kind of way of like controlling her. But at the same time, she thought that, she kept doing enough of the songs, and she was appearing on, TV shows out west with some of the songs, but they weren't going anywhere. And it was because Patsy Cline had the voice. It's just there was no one there to tell her, when you're doing this song, slow it down here and stuff like that. She didn't know that she had all these vocal capabilities. She just wanted to be a honky tonk singer. And I believe that's why it didn't work out with the songs that she was doing with them, because they were taking these songs that were written for country style, and they played with country instruments, but it didn't match her voice, and that's why it didn't resonate and produce any hits until Walking After Midnight.
It's a shame that all the blame is on us women. It's not true that only you men feel the same. From the start, most every heart that was ever broken was because there always was a man to blame. It wasn't God who made honky-tonk angels, as you said in the words of your song. Too many times married men think they're still single, that have caused many a good girl to go wrong.
Well, there you have it. That was Patsy's first appearance on the Opry, doing the Kitty Wells #1 hit song, It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels. She chose that song because it had a deep, profound impact. It was a hit at the time, and she admired Kitty Wells. But it wouldn't be for another few years until 1957 was when her career sort of took off. But we'll get to that eventually. Yeah, I think that, you have to look at it in retrospective that, for a 14-year-old girl to go to the Opry, do a song that was really big by the Queen of Country Music, Kitty Wells, at the time, is very brave. And you could hear the talent in her voice, but it wasn't polished quite yet. And believe it or not, Patsy did lose her voice from rheumatoid scarlet fever. They also called it diphtheria, but she caught that and it completely took away her voice. And I think that was at 9. And she didn't get her voice back until she was 12. The doctor said she would never be able to talk again. So that kind of like probably played a pivotal moment in developing her voice. Who knows? That deep, rich voice that we know now for like Crazy and I Fall to Pieces. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed that video reaction to Patsy Cline. It wasn't God who made Honky Tonk Angels. And I will see you on the next video reaction from the US to wherever you are in this great big old world. I love you, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.